Aquarius. If you're here, something inside you already knows this message is for you. You may not be able to explain it clearly to anyone else, but there's a quiet certainty growing inside you that your life is no longer moving in the same direction it once did. This isn't chaos, this isn't confusion, and this isn't you losing motivation. This is a transition, a phase that begins internally, long before anything changes on the outside. One of the earliest signs is that your emotional reactions have softened, not because you don't feel, but because you no longer feel obligated to respond to everything. You're realizing that not every message deserves an answer. Not every invitation deserves your presence. And not every emotion deserves your energy. Another sign is that you feel out of sync with certain environments. Places you used to tolerate now feel draining. Conversations that once felt normal now feel repetitive, and you catch yourself wanting to leave situations earlier than usual. Not out of arrogance, out of alignment. Aquarius, you may also notice that you're becoming more observant. You listen more than you speak. You watch patterns instead of reacting to moments. And you're seeing people more clearly than before. Intentions stand out. Inconsistencies stand out. Silence speaks louder than words now. You're also losing interest in proving yourself. The urge to be understood is fading. You're realizing that clarity doesn't come from explaining. It comes from boundaries. Another sign is that your priorities are rearranging themselves. What once felt urgent now feels irrelevant. What once felt distant now feels essential. You may feel pulled toward simplicity, fewer obligations, cleaner routines, more space. Your nervous system is asking for calm. Aquarius, this phase often brings emotional distance from the past. Memories don't hurt the same way. Old disappointments don't sting as sharply. Not because they didn't matter, but because you've outgrown them. You may even feel a strange gratitude for experiences that once felt painful, because now you see how they shaped your discernment. Another sign is that you're no longer chasing outcomes. You're more interested in alignment than results, more interested in peace than validation. You trust timing more than effort now. You may also feel moments of loneliness, even when you're not alone. This isn't because something is missing. It's because you're between versions of yourself. The old identity is dissolving. The new one hasn't fully arrived yet. In Aquarius, this space can feel uncomfortable if you try to rush it. But this phase isn't meant to be rushed. Your intuition is also changing. It's not loud. It's not urgent. It's steady. When something isn't right, you don't spiral anymore. You simply know. You may also notice changes in your sleep. Your dreams may feel symbolic. Your body may crave more rest. This isn't weakness. This is integration. Your system is processing a shift that your mind is still catching up to. Aquarius, you are also becoming more selective with your emotions. You still care deeply, but you're no longer willing to overextend yourself. You're learning that access to you is earned, not automatic. And this is where many people begin to drift away. Not because you pushed them out, but because you stopped shrinking to keep them comfortable. This is not abandonment. This is self-respect. And this is only the beginning. Aquarius. Now let's talk about the traits within you that confirm this phase is not temporary. One of your strongest traits is emotional independence. And right now, it's deepening. You're no longer looking outward for stability. You're creating it internally. This makes you less reactive, less anxious, and less attached to outcomes you can't control. Another Aquarius trait activating now is your natural detachment from ego-driven dynamics. Power games don't interest you. Manipulation stands out instantly, and you're choosing disengagement over confrontation. Not because you're avoiding conflict, but because you value your energy more. You also have a deep respect for authenticity. And in this phase, anything inauthentic feels unbearable. Forced connections, performative conversations, unspoken expectations. You're done carrying them. Aquarius, your originality is also shifting. You're less interested in being seen as different and more interested in being true. This makes you quieter, but more grounded. You're also incredibly future-oriented. And right now, your inner vision is pulling you forward faster than your external reality can follow. This can create impatience, restlessness, a sense that you're ahead of your surroundings. Trust this. You are not early. You are aligned. Another trait is your ability to hold truth without dramatizing it. You see situations clearly. You don't exaggerate. You don't minimize. You accept. And acceptance is power. You may also notice that your tolerance for emotional labor is lower. You no longer feel responsible for fixing others. You no longer absorb moods that aren't yours. You're learning energetic boundaries. Aquarius, this phase also activates your discernment. You're noticing who shows up consistently, who disappears when things require effort, who only engages when it benefits them. And instead of reacting, you quietly adjust your expectations. This is maturity. You also carry a strong sense of justice. And right now, you're applying it to yourself. You're asking, does this honor my time? Does this respect my energy? Does this align with who I'm becoming? If the answer is no, you let go, without resentment. Another sign you're fully in this phase is that you're keeping more things private. Your plans, your healing, your next chapter. Not out of fear, out of wisdom. You understand that not everyone deserves access to your becoming. Aquarius, this phase may feel quiet, but it is powerful. You are releasing identities, expectations, and connections that no longer fit your frequency. And you're doing it without announcement. This is not an ending. This is a recalibration. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And remember, you are not falling behind. You are aligning. And once this phase completes, your life will reflect the clarity you're building right now, silently. And Aquarius, as this alignment deepens, you may notice that your sense of time feels different. You're less rushed, less pressured by artificial deadlines, less influenced by what others are doing. You're moving on an internal clock now, one that doesn't respond to urgency, only to readiness. Another sign this phase is solidifying is that your emotional reactions come later, if at all. You don't immediately respond. You pause. You process. And often, by the time you're ready to speak, you realize there's nothing left to say. This isn't suppression. This is clarity. You're also noticing that certain truths no longer shock you. Things that once would have hurt deeply now feel like confirmations of what you already sensed. You're not surprised by inconsistency anymore. You're not disappointed by silence. You're not confused by mixed signals. You see them for what they are. Aquarius, this phase sharpens your ability to detach without disconnecting from yourself. You remain present, but not entangled. You care, but you don't cling. This balance is rare, and it's being refined within you now. You may also feel a pull toward learning, reflection, or solitude, not isolation. Intentional withdrawal, moments where you prefer your own thoughts over external noise. This is where integration happens. Your mind is reorganizing itself. Old beliefs are being questioned. Old narratives are dissolving, and you're allowing uncertainty without panic. Another trait emerging strongly now is your resistance to emotional manipulation. Guilt doesn't work the way it used to. Pressure doesn't move you. And fear-based motivation feels hollow. You're responding only to what feels aligned. Aquarius, you're also becoming more honest with yourself about what you want, about what you don't, about what you're no longer willing to negotiate. This honesty may create distance with some people, but it creates peace within you. You're learning that harmony doesn't require agreement. It requires authenticity. Another sign is that your empathy is becoming more discerning. You still understand others deeply, but you no longer confuse understanding with responsibility. You can hold compassion without carrying someone else's emotional weight. This is growth. You may also notice that you are less inclined to share your inner world casually. Not because you're closed, but because you're selective. You understand now that your inner space is sacred. Aquarius, this phase also changes how you approach endings. You don't seek closure through conversation anymore. You find it internally. You don't need apologies to move on. You don't need explanations to let go. You trust your own sense of completion. This is a powerful shift. Another subtle sign is that you're less reactive to uncertainty about the future. You don't need the full plan. You don't need guarantees. You trust that clarity will arrive when action is required. Until then, you rest. Aquarius, you are also redefining success. It's no longer about visibility or recognition. It's about sustainability. Can this be maintained without draining you? Can this exist without costing your peace? If not, you are no longer interested. This phase may feel uneventful on the surface, but internally, it's transformational. You are shedding layers, beliefs, roles, attachments, and you're doing it quietly. This is why not everyone will understand what's happening to you. From the outside, it may look like nothing has changed, but you know better. You feel lighter, clearer, more grounded. Aquarius, this is not a phase you fall into. It's a phase you earn by listening to yourself instead of the noise around you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and remember, this alignment didn't come to rush you. It came to return you to yourself. And once you fully settle into it, the life you're building next will require less force and more truth. Silently,